Girl refuses to spend weekend with mom. Dad checks cameras. Roger Andrews eagerly awaited his daughter Amber's return after a weekend at her mom and stepdad's house. As the door opened, he noticed an unusual silence hanging in the air. Amber, usually talkative and full of stories, avoided eye contact and headed straight to her room without uttering a single word. Concerned, Roger decided to give her some space, assuming she might be tired from the weekend activities. Despite Roger's attempt to give Amber space, her continued silence raised his worry. As he prepared dinner, he subtly tried to engage her in conversation, but Amber remained tight-lipped. Roger began to suspect that something might have happened at her mom and stepdad's house, causing the sudden change in behavior. Something wasn't right, and he could feel it. Roger Andrews was a single man, and ever since he and his ex-wife got divorced, they were trying to constantly find a way to make their 11-year-old daughter Amber happy. They agreed to have joint custody. However, some days it was just tiring for Amber to go from one house to another. She preferred to spend the majority of her time with her father. It wasn't because Amber liked one parent more than the other, it was really because her school was closer to her dad's house and it was better for the morning and afternoon commute. Furthermore, Amber had confessed that she didn't really want to spend too much time with her stepdad. To her, he wasn't as fun as Roger and they didn't have much in common. Roger began noticing that Amber was acting very strangely. Ever since she came back from visiting her mother, she wasn't her usual self. When he asked her how the visit with her mother went, she just mumbled something. It was very unlike her, and Roger knew that something was wrong. Was he right, or was he imagining things? Amber would stay with her mother and stepfather every weekend, and Roger noticed a reluctance every Friday. As he'd pick her up from school, she'd already be in an off mood. "Hey, Pumpkin, you excited to be staying with your mom this weekend? Didn't she promise to take you shopping? Isn't that exciting?" Roger asked his daughter. However, Amber just looked down. She didn't seem like she was at all excited to be going. "I don't know, Dad. I guess it'll be fun," she said. Roger looked at his daughter through the rearview mirror. She looked very unhappy as she sat in the back seat. Usually she was excited to see her mother, but now she wasn't her usual bubbly self. As Roger helped his daughter pack her bag for the weekend, he couldn't help notice how little effort she was putting in. She just grabbed whatever clothes and stuffed them in the bag. "Don't forget to pack your floral dress and sandals, honey. Remember you said you wanted to wear those when you went shopping?" She then snatched the dress off from the clothes hanger and stuffed it in the bag. She didn't look happy at all. When Roger eventually dropped her off, she said, "Daddy, do I really have to go? I think I want to stay with you this weekend. We can watch the game and have pizza. It'll be so much better than being here. Can you tell Mom I changed my mind, please?" she begged. Roger was very surprised to this turn of events. He didn't expect it at all. As much as he wanted to spend the weekend with his daughter, he knew that he couldn't violate the joint custody agreement. It would make his ex-wife Jessica very angry, and she would blame him for it, even though it was Amber who wanted to be with him. Roger turned to his daughter and said, "Sweetie, as much as I'd love to watch the game with you this weekend, you know we can't do that. We don't want your mommy to be upset. It'd be very unfair since she also wants to spend time with you." Amber's face only got sadder, and Roger hated to see her that way. Little did he know that she had a good reason for it. Roger kissed his daughter goodbye, and she reluctantly got out of the car and made her way to the door. Her mother was there to greet her, and she waved to Roger as they made their way inside. Roger had no idea that his weekend was about to become very eventful. All he planned to do was relax and watch the game. However, it was going to be interrupted by something unexpected. That Saturday afternoon, as he was watching the game on TV, he received a few text messages on his phone. Not wanting to be disturbed, he left them for a while. That wasn't until his phone rang. When he saw Amber's name flashing on the screen, he wasted no time in answering. When he answered, his daughter's voice was frantic. "Dad, can you please come and get me? I'm finished shopping with Mom and I want to come home now, please," she begged. However, Roger knew he couldn't do that. How was he going to tell his daughter without breaking her heart? It was a difficult situation for him. But when Amber started crying, Roger started reconsidering. "What's wrong, sweetie? Why are you so upset? Talk to me, please. I can't help if you don't tell me what's going on," he replied. I just can't be here anymore. I want to be with you. Mom's being very mean and I just can't take it," she said through tears. Roger's heart sank as he listened to his daughter's distressed voice. Alarmed and filled with concern, he reassured Amber that he would be there soon. He hastily grabbed his keys and headed towards his ex-wife's house, all the while his mind racing with worry and questions. What was going on at his ex-wife's house that made his daughter so upset?
Also, if you have not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these real-life stories every day. Now, back to the story. Upon arriving at the house, Roger noticed an eerie silence that contrasted sharply with the usual lively atmosphere during Amber's visits. He found Jessica in the living room, seemingly unconcerned. When he inquired about Amber's distress, Jessica brushed it off, claiming it was just a typical teenager's mood swing. However, the knot in Roger's stomach tightened and he decided to investigate further. Remembering that Jessica had security cameras installed around the house, he requested access to the footage.
What he discovered left him in shock and disbelief. As Roger watched the surveillance footage, he witnessed an unsettling scene. Amber's stepdad, whom she reluctantly called Dad, was forcing her to refer to him as such. The man was manipulating her emotionally, using tactics that bordered on coercion. Roger's anger flared, realizing this went beyond a simple disagreement or parenting style. He was witnessing emotional manipulation and psychology. Fueled by a mix of fury and concern, Roger confronted Jessica about what he'd witnessed. The argument escalated quickly, with Jessica defending her husband's actions, insisting it was a harmless attempt to strengthen their family bond. Roger couldn't believe what he was hearing, realizing the toxic environment Amber was being subjected to during her weekend visits. The revelation prompted Roger to take legal action to protect his daughter. He hired a lawyer and began the process of seeking full custody, presenting the surveillance footage as evidence of emotional manipulation. The legal battle that ensued was emotionally draining, with accusations and counter-accusations flying between the estranged couple. Roger realized this was the reason why Amber was so reluctant to stay with her mother. Amber, caught in the middle of the legal turmoil, felt the weight of the situation on her young shoulders. She started seeing a therapist to cope with the emotional toll of the forced bonding sessions. The therapist became a vital ally in the legal proceedings, providing expert testimony on the potential harm being inflicted on Amber's mental well-being. As the custody hearing approached, tensions reached a boiling point. The courtroom was filled with an air of anticipation and anxiety. Roger, determined to provide a stable and loving environment for his daughter, stood firm in his pursuit of full custody. Amber, with a newfound strength, expressed her desire to live primarily with her father. And the court, after careful consideration of the evidence and testimonies, ruled in Roger's favor. Full custody was granted to him, and restrictions were placed on Amber's visits to her mom's house. The judge, visibly disturbed by the surveillance footage, emphasized the importance of protecting Amber from any further emotional harm. Roger and Amber were overjoyed at the outcome. With the legal battle behind them, Roger and Amber began the process of rebuilding their lives. Amber's therapy sessions continued, providing a safe space for her to heal. Roger, more vigilant than ever, worked toward creating a nurturing environment where Amber felt loved, supported, and free from manipulation. He promised to always be there for her and protect her wherever he could. It only strengthened their bond. As the weeks passed, Amber slowly started to transform. The weight of the emotional turmoil lifted, and she began to regain her vibrant spirit. The therapy sessions played a crucial role in helping her process the trauma she had experienced during those troubling weekends. Roger, observing his daughter's resilience, couldn't be prouder. They established new routines, creating positive memories together to replace the dark ones that had haunted Amber. With the court-mandated restrictions in place, Amber's visits to her mom's house were now supervised. Roger, determined to ensure Amber's well-being, coordinated with therapists and legal authorities to guarantee a safe and supportive environment during these visits. The strained relationship between Roger and Jessica, however, continued to simmer beneath the surface. Despite the legal victory, tensions remained high, making every interaction during the handovers emotionally charged. Amber, once a hesitant and reluctant participant in the legal proceedings, found her voice. Encouraged by the therapist and the unwavering support from her father, she expressed her feelings openly and confidently, making it clear she wanted her father to be her primary caregiver. Her courage and determination inspired Roger, who vowed to be her advocate in every aspect of her life. Together, they forged a path toward healing and stability. Despite the challenges, Roger remained committed to fostering a healthy relationship between Amber and her mother. Family counseling sessions were initiated, providing a platform for open communication and understanding. It was a slow process, but small steps were taken toward rebuilding trust. As Amber navigated the complexities of joint custody, she discovered the strength within her to set boundaries and prioritize her emotional well-being. During this tumultuous period, Roger discovered unexpected support from friends, family, and even Amber's school community. The shared concern for Amber's welfare created a network of allies who stood by them throughout the legal battle and the subsequent healing process. This outpouring of support reinforced Roger's belief that no matter the challenges, they were not alone in their journey toward a stable and loving family environment. As time passed, the wounds began to heal, and a sense of normalcy returned to Roger and Amber's lives. Amber's school performance improved, and her laughter echoed through the house once more. The shared experiences, both the trials and triumphs, strengthened the bond between father and daughter. Though scars of the past lingered, Roger and Amber faced the future with optimism. The events that unfolded had reshaped their lives, teaching them the importance of resilience, love, and the unwavering commitment to protecting the well-being of those they held dear.